Yay!
Yay, we're getting better at this.
We get better every time.
That's great.
Awesome. So
Hi.
this, hi. How are you doing?
Doing really well, thank you. How are
Awesome.
you?
Good.
You got your lemon, you got your infused intentional lemon water. I love it.
Today I feel a bit more peaceful and like in the flow. And I'll talk about the Ayurveda calendar later, but like that has really been a game changer for me. I just feel more like I have energy when I'm supposed to, and I don't have energy when I'm not supposed
Uh,
to, you know?
uh-huh. Working in harmony with nature.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Um, so the plan for today is we're going to go over our last 5 questions, and then I'm going to really quickly touch on the Ayurvedic body types, the dosha body types, and I'm going to show everyone how I plan my day around the calendar. So, are you ready to get started?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Should we
Okay,
should we remind people about our backgrounds a little bit? Since maybe in case they didn't watch the first one or second one.
great idea.
Um, okay, well, I'm Danielle, and I have been living a organic, vegan, plant-based lifestyle for the last near 16 years now, and I have enjoyed it because for me, the proof is in the pudding, not only with me, but with people that I've seen adopt this lifestyle. I have 4 children who I see the proof is in the pudding with them too, with eating this way, with their skin, their health, the way that they heal, our energy levels, and things like that. So, within these 16 years of knowledge and experience, I have met you and partnered with Melina Olive Oil so we can have these talks to share all the education that we know and to gather like-minded people as well as people who are just starting their journey and are curious about this, so you can kind of have the cliff notes to the things that we have gone through and experienced and the things that work and maybe don't work. And so that's why we're coming together and joyfully doing it and excited about it and excited to help people along with their journey.
Absolutely. Um, yes. And emphasis on people that are new to the journey because it's you don't have to do it all in one night. Little steps. And something I've really learned too is like it's a reiterative process with yourself, and you're only comparing to yourself. If you could do just one thing different tomorrow, that's great. And it's great to talk to you that has so much knowledge because you can kind of steer, okay, if they do one thing, steer it in that one thing in the right direction. And then my background, I am Lebanese American. I've been very passionate about wellness, but I've got a really busy schedule, and I think what I kind of can provide for our viewers that are new to the healthy lifestyle is small ways to make changes, different ways to look at things. When I was brainstorming about this, it called me like Urban Stephanie. So I guess I can help with the urban lifestyle. And we're very thankful for Melina that is able to sponsor this conversation. And Melina really understands the mission of when you are a whole person, you're whole in your mind and your body and your spirit, you contribute more to the world, you are happier as yourself. And I mean, it's also delicious olive oil.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, are we ready to dive into the questions?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, did we cover number 11, the tips about portion size? I could have sworn we talked about that last time.
Um, I I'm not 100% sure, but we can always retouch on it. It doesn't hurt to reiterate and remind. speaking of that, that's one of the things that is a pillar of success is to re-engage the mind. I talked before about motivation can only take someone so far. Like, oh, well, I've got this function to go to, so I'm motivated to eat healthy and be healthy. I'm motivated to do it because I saw something. What's really going to give you the edge is when you educate yourself, and that sometimes is replaying the same message so that way it lives in your subconscious. Because when you are trying to make changes, or when you're practicing to make changes, that's one of the things that you want to do is repeat the information. You want to be educated so you're inspired to be motivated. And so that is definitely worth repeating. um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so we're to portions. Okay, so portion size and avoid overeating. Well, one of the things that when you transition to a plant-based diet is your body typically does kind of want to eat more because it's flowing through you. It's when you eat something, your digestive system, your intestines are pulling all the nutrients and absorbing it into the body, and then it's eliminating what it doesn't need. And so the one of the benefits is you can kind of munch a lot when you're on a plant-based diet, but portion control is just going into the mindful eating again. If you're not being distracted by the TV or by the computer or the phone or your work, your mindfulness in your eating will also help with things like that, with portion control, because you're able to focus on, okay, well, I've had this plate, I'm feeling full, I feel connected to my food, I feel satiated. And that's, I think, a big thing is to feel satiated with the food. And a lot of times when we're busy looking at other things, or we're scarfing it down because we haven't eaten all day and now we're really hungry, we forget about the mindfulness, the connection to the food, which is huge with the Ayurveda that you're talking about. It's all about mindfulness and harmony with the food and the digestion and nature. And so those are things about the portion control, that it's not standard in the way that standard American eating is. Like if you go and you're like, oh, well, I need like 4 ounces of this and this. A lot of times, like I'll have a big old salad and have some beans and rice, and where you want to portion yourself maybe might be if you grab some organic chips or something like that. Then you might want to go, okay, well, I don't need to eat the whole bag. I can just have a little bit of taste of those and then eat a huge amount of vegetables if you're still feeling like you need more. So that would be some suggestions.
Yes. For people that are still getting used to it and maybe are just making small changes in their diet, what I would always suggest is understand what a serving size is, and for like maybe a week really pay attention to like what is one serving size of whatever you're eating. And then as you keep going on, you'll remember and you'll have a better idea of stuff. But I think a good rule of thumb is if it comes in a box, if it comes in a bag, if it comes in a can, look at the serving size. If it doesn't,
Yeah,
like, follow your heart.
I tell all the time, I say, because it's a mental cue, is if you put your fist, that's how big your stomach is. So if
Oh
you're
wow.
thinking how much you're eating and how much this can fill, that's not really a ton of food, you know? So if you think of that in your stomach and you're like looking at your plate and it's 4 times the size of your fist, then you're not eating for you know, fullness or things like that. Then it's a mental cue to go, oh, okay, that's really out of balance with portion. So there's just a visual cue of something that you can take along with you in your mind. Another thing too is if you find yourself being hungry, all the little extras that you have, like you're cutting your carrots or you're cutting your onions, or and you put them in a little bag. I call it my broth bag, a Ziploc, and I put it in the freezer. So every time I'm cooking, strain it, and then you can just drink beautiful broth water like that, veggie broth before you eat, and it feels super filling. And that will definitely assist with portion sizes and hunger.
Absolutely. Awesome. Um, how can I make healthier choices when grocery shopping on a budget? I would like to know the answer to this one too.
So the first that I would do is reach out to your local community, the areas around you. See if you have a farm nearby. See if you have somebody who's doing a co-op, produce co-op and things like that, because not only are you going to get probably more than most likely better pricing, but you're going to get better quality. So that would be my first suggestion. If there isn't that around you, manifest it. That's a whole nother topic. But if you are like having to go to one of the grocery stores in your area, um, talk to them in the produce section. Talk to them and say, hey, is there fresh organic romaine that you can get? And maybe you can ask them, if this type of things, when do the organics go on sale? And, again, it goes down to kind of communicating with them, the produce manager, finding out what they have and when things can go on sale, um, and then utilize that, to stock up. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little bit of research on this too for the next episode because I know some people live in urban deserts and like the option of fresh produce is really difficult for them. So I'm gonna look into some resources for people that are in that situation too.
And you know
Um,
what? Somebody that's in an urban situation like that, something that's really elite, which is elite eating, which being in that setting would force somebody to maybe do this, is to grow your sprouts, grow your microgreens, because you can do that right inside your house in a little tray on a windowsill, and it's optimal nutrition. It's
wow.
still alive, it's still growing. You cut it and you eat it, and that would be something fantastic for everybody, really, but particularly for those who can't or who have a challenging time finding fresh farms or things like that.
I love that. Very good idea. Awesome. Um, what are some healthier alternatives to common processed foods